If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns shook up their special teams on Tuesday with a bold, attention-grabbing move that has fans and analysts talking across the NFL. The organization officially released veteran kicker Dustin Hopkins, ending a turbulent 2-year tenure marked by inconsistency and mounting pressure. Hopkins, who initially joined Cleveland with a 3-year, $15.9 million contract, struggled mightily during the 2024 season, converting just 18 of 27 field goal attempts for a concerning 66.7% success rate. This accuracy slump left him tied for the second most missed kicks in the league, fueling widespread speculation about his future with the team. Mary Kay Cabot confirmed the move, emphasizing that the Browns are looking to reshape a critical position that often determines the outcome of close games. For Cleveland, the decision signals a commitment to prioritize performance over loyalty, especially in a league where special teams mistakes can swing momentum and playoff chances in an instant. The Browns are now turning their attention to fresh talent ready to make an immediate impact. Andre Scmyt, a promising young kicker, is now slated to take over as Cleveland's primary option, and the team is banking on his potential to deliver where Hopkins struggled. Scmyt's rise has been marked by consistent excellence, beginning with his standout career at Syracuse University. Winning the prestigious Lou Groza Award as a freshman, Scmyt quickly established himself as one of college football's elite kickers, a reputation bolstered by his unshakable consistency throughout his collegiate tenure. Despite lacking NFL experience, his ability to perform under pressure has not gone unnoticed, and his performance during training camp and the preseason left coaches and teammates confident in his potential. A clutch 37-yard game-winning kick during preseason action not only secured his roster spot, but also demonstrated that he thrives in high-stakes situations. The Browns' decision to elevate Scmyt reflects a strategic commitment to reinforcing their special teams, a unit that often dictates the difference between mediocrity and playoff contention in a highly competitive league. Cleveland's front office clearly believes Scmyt possesses the mental fortitude and technical skill to become a reliable force moving forward. The decision to part ways with Hopkins represents more than just a change of personnel. It is a statement about accountability and performance standards in Cleveland. The Browns invested heavily in Hopkins, and walking away from a guaranteed contract is a significant financial risk, but one they deem necessary to rectify glaring weaknesses. Hopkins' struggles were not limited to statistical underperformance. They often manifested in critical moments, undermining confidence in the team during tightly contested matchups. By moving on from a high-profile veteran, the Browns are signaling to fans, players, and opponents alike that mediocrity will not be tolerated. The transition to Scmyt, a player with a different pedigree and fresh energy, also allows the coaching staff to implement a renewed philosophy in their special teams operations. While Scmyt must still prove he can translate college success to the NFL, the early signs are encouraging, and the move injects a renewed sense of optimism into a position that has historically been volatile. The gamble carries inherent risks, but Cleveland appears ready to embrace them in pursuit of consistent results. Scmyt's journey to this pivotal opportunity in Cleveland has been defined by steady growth and adaptability, traits that will be tested at the professional level. After his decorated tenure at Syracuse, he gained additional experience competing in alternative professional leagues, honing his technique and learning to manage the unique pressures of kicking beyond college. This broader exposure allowed him to face diverse game situations and adapt to varying conditions, an invaluable preparation for the NFL's unforgiving environment. The Browns' coaching staff has lauded his work ethic and mental resilience, suggesting that these attributes could translate into long-term stability at the kicker position. As the season approaches, all eyes will be on Scmyt to see whether he can maintain the precision and confidence that defined his collegiate career. His ability to execute consistently will directly impact Cleveland's competitiveness in close games, underscoring the importance of this roster move. For fans, this change provides both excitement and a sense of cautious optimism for what lies ahead. The broader implications of this move extend beyond just the kicking game, touching on team dynamics and morale. Special teams play often sets the tone for field position, momentum, and overall confidence throughout a contest. By introducing SCMYT, Cleveland signals a willingness to embrace innovation and fresh talent while holding veterans accountable for subpar performance. The shift also affects locker room culture, where players take note of organizational decisions that reward preparation, skill, and composure under pressure. It is likely that teammates will view SCMYT's opportunity as a blueprint for advancement. Excellence is recognized, and underperformance is addressed. This creates a competitive environment where all contributors understand that success is the standard, reinforcing the Browns' overarching philosophy of results-driven football. As the regular season approaches, the integration of SCMYT into the lineup will serve as a test case for the team's ability to cultivate young talent in critical roles, adding intrigue and anticipation for fans watching closely. Analysts are weighing the financial implications of the Browns' decision, particularly considering the cost of walking away from Hopkins' guaranteed contract. The $15.9 million investment over 3 years was a significant commitment for any franchise, and choosing to release a player before the contract's completion demonstrates a prioritization of performance and accountability over sunk costs. This move highlights Cleveland's willingness to accept short-term financial hits in order to achieve long-term gains, a strategy that underscores the high stakes involved in professional football management. It also reflects a broader trend in the NFL, where front offices are increasingly making decisive personnel changes to maximize efficiency and competitive advantage. By reallocating resources toward a promising but unproven talent like SCMYT, the Browns signal confidence in their scouting, coaching, and development processes. The move may serve as a model for other franchises considering similar decisions in high-pressure roles that can define a season. SCMYT's collegiate accolades, including his Lou Groza Award and consistent performance at Syracuse, provide a strong foundation for expectations, but translating that success to the NFL will be a formidable challenge. The speed, complexity, and intensity of professional football are exponentially higher than the collegiate level, and even the most decorated college athletes face a steep learning curve. The Browns coaching staff is tasked with ensuring that SCMYT receives the proper guidance, support, and technical coaching to bridge that gap. Preseason performance offers promising signs, but consistency in regular season conditions is the true test. Every game, snap, and pressure kick will contribute to the narrative surrounding his ability to thrive at the next level. Cleveland's decision to invest in SCMYT underscores the organization's belief in his potential and their willingness to shoulder the risk in pursuit of a more reliable special teams unit capable of delivering results when it matters most. The reaction from fans and media has been immediate and impassioned, reflecting the intensity of attention given to special teams decisions in modern football. While some mourn the departure of a recognizable veteran like Hopkins, many embrace the infusion of youthful talent and the hope for a more consistent kicking game. Social media conversations highlight the dual nature of such moves, the emotional attachment to past players versus the practical need for performance improvement. For the Browns, managing this narrative is as important as the decision itself, as fan confidence can translate into broader team support and energy during home contests. The choice to promote SCMYT is as much about sending a message as it is about on-field performance, emphasizing the value of preparation, composure, and precision in critical moments. This balancing act between fan sentiment and strategic decision-making is a hallmark of modern NFL franchise management. Special teams performance often makes the difference in high-stakes, close-score situations, and the Browns' reorganization of this unit illustrates their strategic foresight. By investing in SCMYT, Cleveland seeks to create a kicker who can reliably convert crucial field goals, stabilize momentum, and ultimately contribute to a winning culture. Past struggles under Hopkins exposed vulnerabilities that opponents could exploit, and the organization clearly aims to close those gaps before the regular season begins. Integrating SCMYT into the team involves more than just on-field duties. It also requires establishing chemistry with holders, long snappers, and coaching staff to execute under pressure. The holistic approach to special teams development reflects Cleveland's understanding that success is rarely isolated to a single player, but is the product of coordination, preparation, and mental toughness. This investment in process and talent development sets the stage for potentially transformative outcomes during the upcoming season. The Browns' decision also underscores the dynamic nature of NFL roster management, where teams must constantly assess performance, potential, and strategic fit. In the case of SCMYT, the organization identified a player with a proven track record, strong mental resilience, and a hunger to succeed at the highest level. His development will be closely monitored by coaching staff, analysts, and fans alike, creating a pressure cooker environment that will test his abilities from day one. The team's willingness to trust a rookie with such a pivotal role is indicative of their broader philosophy. Performance and consistency matter above all else. If SCMYT succeeds, the Browns gain a reliable weapon in their special teams arsenal. If not, the experiment provides valuable lessons for future roster decisions. This calculated risk embodies the delicate balance between opportunity and accountability that defines professional football management. Looking ahead, the focus for Cleveland shifts to SCMYT's ability to translate his collegiate and preseason success into NFL-level consistency, particularly in high-pressure scenarios. The Browns are clearly betting on his composure, technique, and experience from alternative professional leagues to handle the mental and physical demands of the regular season. Every kick, every game situation, and every critical moment will contribute to the narrative surrounding his performance, making his integration into the team one of the most closely watched developments in the league. The move also highlights the Browns' commitment to a results-oriented approach, signaling to other players that opportunities are earned through preparation, focus, and execution. As the regular season unfolds, fans, analysts, and teammates alike will evaluate whether SCMYT can provide the stability and reliability that have eluded Cleveland at the kicker position, potentially reshaping the trajectory of the team's success and its special teams identity moving forward. This special teams overhaul, while centered on the kicker position, also sends a broader message about Cleveland's organizational philosophy and long-term vision. By decisively moving on from a struggling veteran in Hopkins and embracing the potential of SCMYT, the franchise demonstrates a willingness to prioritize performance, preparation, and opportunity over financial commitment or reputation alone. The decision reinforces a culture of accountability and excellence, emphasizing that every role, even those often overlooked, carries significant weight in determining outcomes. The integration of SCMYT into the roster represents both a challenge and an opportunity. He must prove his capability under the pressure of professional football while providing Cleveland with the consistency it desperately needs. For fans and analysts alike, this development offers a compelling storyline of risk, reward, and the pursuit of competitive edge, setting the stage for a season where every field goal could make the difference between triumph and disappointment. Cleveland's approach to restructuring its special teams highlights the delicate balance between risk, opportunity, and long-term vision in the NFL. By releasing Hopkins and promoting SCMYT, the franchise embraces a forward-looking strategy aimed at optimizing performance and securing stability at a critical position. SCMYT's journey, from collegiate standout to professional hopeful, exemplifies the qualities the organization values most: resilience, precision, and the ability to thrive under pressure. The success of this roster move will ultimately depend on his capacity to deliver consistent results and instill confidence across the team. For the Browns, the integration of SCMYT represents a calculated gamble with the potential to transform the team's special teams unit from a liability into a reliable asset, creating momentum, boosting morale, and reinforcing the franchise's commitment to winning in every facet of the game. This season, more than ever, every kick will matter, and SCMYT's performance could define the Browns' competitive trajectory. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Whispers have been growing louder around the Cleveland Browns locker room, and sources claim that tensions between Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson have reached a boiling point. According to insiders, Garrett has reportedly refused to take the field alongside Watson, citing personal grievances that go beyond normal teammate friction. Rumors suggest that this animosity isn't new, but recent practices have only intensified the visible divide, with Garrett allegedly stating bluntly that he hates playing with Watson. This revelation, if accurate, could shake the foundation of the Browns' roster chemistry, raising questions about leadership, locker room cohesion, and the long-term viability of their on-field strategies. Fans and analysts are buzzing with speculation, and social media has been flooded with reactions ranging from shock to disbelief, as the prospect of a star defensive end openly opposing a high-profile quarterback could redefine narratives around team loyalty, professional conduct, and public perception in Cleveland's sports landscape. Word has it that the situation started quietly but escalated during off-season preparations, when the two stars reportedly clashed over practice intensity, personal space, and strategic disagreements. Insiders suggest that Garrett's frustration may stem from a perceived lack of accountability or commitment from Watson, with sources claiming that the defensive end sees the quarterback's playstyle and leadership approach as incompatible with team success. This kind of internal conflict is especially significant for a franchise like the Browns, which has invested heavily in its roster and coaching staff, seeking to cement credibility in a highly competitive league. The narrative around Garrett and Watson has quickly evolved into a story that sports analysts can't ignore, and speculation continues to swirl regarding whether the conflict could affect upcoming games, locker room morale, and even front office decisions about trades or roster adjustments. Conversations among fans online reflect a mix of excitement and concern, as the drama surrounding these two figures has become impossible to ignore in Cleveland's football discourse. Reports indicate that Garrett's refusal to play with Watson is not a sudden decision, but the culmination of ongoing tension, with several sources describing heated arguments during team meetings and practices. Observers claim that the defensive star has made his displeasure known privately and publicly, leaving coaches scrambling to manage the optics of a fractured team dynamic. The Browns' management has remained tight-lipped, though speculation suggests internal discussions have been intense, considering the potential impact on both on-field performance and the franchise's public image. Analysts are weighing the possible consequences, from disrupted defensive schemes to negative media coverage, with some arguing that the reported conflict could force the organization to make drastic personnel decisions. Meanwhile, fan communities are dissecting every social media post, interview, and public appearance, searching for confirmation or denial, as rumors swirl about whether this is a temporary disagreement or a deep-seated feud that could define the Browns' season in ways previously unimaginable to observers and casual followers alike. Sources hint that Garrett's frustrations may go beyond Watson's on-field performance, extending into questions of personality clashes and perceived disrespect in team settings. Allegedly, Garrett feels that Watson has undermined him in discussions with coaches, creating tension that has apparently become intolerable. Observers note that while professional athletes often deal with rivalries and competition within teams, the intensity described here suggests a level of personal dislike uncommon in a professional context. The rumor mill claims that teammates are aware but uncertain how to intervene, creating an atmosphere of unease where daily practice sessions are reportedly tense and awkward. Coaches and support staff are said to be caught between mediating disputes and maintaining training schedules, while insiders speculate about whether public statements, leaks to the media, or social media commentary could further inflame the situation, potentially drawing the attention of league officials, sponsors, and a fan base hungry for insight into one of the NFL's most dramatic locker room controversies in recent memory. Whispers from around the Browns facility suggest that Garrett's stance is steadfast, with multiple unnamed sources claiming he refuses to compromise despite potential consequences. The story portrays a player willing to risk fines, suspension, or trade discussions rather than share the field with Watson under current conditions. Analysts speculate that this level of defiance, if true, could have ripple effects on team morale, complicating the coaching staff's ability to implement game plans effectively. Rumors continue that other teammates may be subtly aligning themselves with one star or the other, creating factions that threaten to undermine the collective focus required in a highly demanding professional league. Observers have noted that even casual interactions in the locker room are reportedly strained, feeding the narrative of a team grappling with internal conflict. The intrigue is heightened by the absence of official confirmation, leaving fans, pundits, and media outlets in a state of suspense and fueling daily discussions across forums, podcasts, and sports shows nationwide. Leaked reports from sources close to the organization suggest that Garrett has made his position clear in no uncertain terms, telling coaches that he cannot, in good conscience, play alongside Watson while feeling the current tension persists. According to insiders, Garrett reportedly describes the atmosphere as toxic, claiming that the quarterback's approach and presence undermine his own motivation and performance on the field. Analysts and commentators are now speculating about whether this could lead to unprecedented mid-season adjustments, including trades, benchings, or high-profile mediations. The narrative has caught fire online, with fans dissecting past games, social media interactions, and even practice footage for signs of friction, interpreting every glance, gesture, or cryptic statement as confirmation of the rumored feud. Meanwhile, the Browns organization faces a dilemma: act decisively to maintain authority and cohesion, or risk allowing speculation and unrest to define the franchise's public image, potentially jeopardizing ticket sales, broadcast contracts, and future recruitment efforts. The gossip surrounding Garrett and Watson has become so pervasive that some sources claim the entire locker room is on edge, with players reportedly walking on eggshells during drills, meetings, and film sessions. Rumors describe a scenario where allies of Garrett subtly distance themselves from interactions with Watson, creating a social divide that some insiders say mirrors a political struggle more than a football team dynamic. Coaches are allegedly implementing conflict resolution strategies behind closed doors, but the leaked details suggest that these efforts have been only partially successful. Analysts emphasize that while internal conflicts are not unusual in professional sports, the intensity described here, particularly when it involves a publicly visible statement of hatred from one star to another, could define Cleveland's season in unexpected ways. Fans are engaging in heated debates online, debating whether Garrett's stance is justified, strategic, or detrimental, adding to the drama and feeding the insatiable appetite for narrative-driven speculation in sports media. Social media channels are reportedly ablaze with opinions, speculation, and reactions, amplifying the rumor that Garrett refuses to play with Watson. Insiders suggest that every public comment, gesture, and interview is being scrutinized for hidden meaning, as commentators attempt to read between the lines and predict how the situation will unfold. Some speculate that this tension could pressure the Browns' management into exploring trade options for either star player, while others believe the team might attempt a reconciliation behind the scenes to salvage morale. According to whispered reports, players have been advised to maintain professionalism publicly, but private conversations reportedly remain heated and divisive, feeding the narrative that the locker room is fractured. Analysts and journalists are framing the story as a potential turning point for the franchise, emphasizing that if these rumors prove true, the Cleveland Browns could face one of the most dramatic internal conflicts in NFL history, with lasting implications for reputation, strategy, and season outcomes. Sources close to the Browns suggest that Garrett's refusal has sparked internal investigations and emergency meetings, with coaches, management, and player representatives attempting to assess the extent of the feud. Rumors hint that the organization is weighing all possible options, from disciplinary measures to high-profile mediation sessions, in an effort to prevent the situation from spiraling further. Insiders indicate that Garrett has maintained a firm position, reportedly emphasizing that nothing short of a resolution addressing his grievances will convince him to participate fully alongside Watson. Analysts are now highlighting potential long-term consequences, including trade rumors, contract renegotiations, and strategic shifts in defensive deployment, all while emphasizing the high stakes of managing superstar personalities in a fiercely competitive league. The media frenzy continues to grow, transforming what might have been an internal dispute into a spectacle of public intrigue, debate, and suspense, captivating fans nationwide and heightening anticipation for the Browns' next moves. Some sources even speculate that the feud could influence draft strategies, free agency decisions, and future recruitment, as the narrative of internal discord may affect the franchise's attractiveness to potential talent. Rumors claim that Garrett's influence in the locker room has emboldened other players to voice concerns or take subtle stances, complicating leadership dynamics and creating new pressures for coaches and management alike. Analysts note that the unfolding drama provides a rare glimpse into the complex interpersonal relationships in professional sports, where personal grievances intersect with contractual obligations, public perception, and organizational priorities. Social media, podcasts, and sports shows are dissecting every angle, creating a feedback loop that both informs and inflames fan perceptions. Meanwhile, speculation continues as insiders hint at possible upcoming interventions, trade talks, or public statements that could dramatically alter the Browns' season trajectory and either resolve or intensify one of the NFL's most talked-about locker room controversies. The ongoing tension between Garrett and Watson, according to insiders, has reached a stage where both stars reportedly avoid direct interaction whenever possible, fueling rumors of a near-complete personal and professional divide. Observers note that this behavior is unusual for players of such caliber, prompting questions about team culture, leadership, and organizational oversight. Rumors suggest that Garrett's statements of hatred toward Watson are not mere hyperbole, but a reflection of deep-seated frustrations that could influence everything from daily practice dynamics to high-stakes game decisions. Analysts warn that if this conflict continues unchecked, the Browns risk destabilizing their roster, undermining strategic cohesion, and creating a public relations challenge that extends far beyond the field. Fans, meanwhile, are caught in a frenzy of speculation, eagerly parsing every update for signs of resolution or escalation, making the Garrett-Watson story one of the most compelling and volatile narratives in modern NFL discourse. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!